everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And today I was going to have a look at that beach trip that TMZ just happened to photograph, and yes, we saw Archie we've never seen before, in my opinion. But no, we have to get the old Storyteller's Tarot out and on the tarot table, because the Dragon Slayer is at it again. Harry has got legal again, and this is over Andrew Lownie's book, which is being serialized in the Daily Mail over this current weekend. And first of all came the hot denial about the punch-up in 2013 when Harry allegedly gave Prince Andrew a bloody nose. And then the other thing that there was a hot denial about was the Meghan Markle business. Andrew warning Harry that he was making the biggest mistake of his life by marrying her. Hot denial. Not enough, apparently, because now we hear from Jack Royston at Newsweek that Harry and Meghan have sent lawyers' letters to the Daily Mail. Both of them have sent legal letters to the Daily Mail over these allegations. First of all, the fight, and second of all, the comments about Meghan, which have been described as grossly inaccurate, damaging, and defamatory. So we haven't quite got to suing. We're at the lawyers' letters phase, and the Parkles are famous for their lawyers' letters. I've lost track of how many they've sent to newspapers in their time. Famously, the Lilibet one, they sent a letter to the BBC. They never got to suing. So Andrew Lownie has come out and he has welcomed this. He said he's bring it on, basically. He looks forward to doing battle. And the disclosures which will emerge, which sounds like he's got witnesses. And there's some speculation as to who those witnesses may be. Now, my suspicious mind went immediately to Harry's existing litigation with the Daily Mail. I think it's the last case of the current round of court cases. This is against Associated News, the parent company of the Daily Mail. He's suing them. He and a whole pack of others are suing them. It's the old phone hacking saga that was supposed to be a shoo-in, easy money. Old big-haired guy, I'm sure, promised them all that. But they've got themselves into a spot of bother because there is now controversy over their witnesses and speculation. The judge even seeming to think this might be the case, that the witnesses were paid to come up with evidence, which is a big no-no. So there's some trouble over there, and I'm wondering if these lawyers' letters to the Daily Mail aren't trying to get back in good favour with the court and saying, see how awful they are. They've published defamatory things against us, so they do hate us. So even if we paid witnesses, you can't blame us, really, because we're the helpless victims of this evil monster, the British tabloid media. That's just my suspicious mind, as I say. It's rather torturous reasoning, but I don't think that's ever stopped Harry and Meghan before. So we're going to have a look at this now in this reading. Instead of being on the beach with the Parkles, we're going to ask about enthusiasm for sending lawyers' letters, Harry and Meghan individually. We're going to ask why. Many people are speculating they're trying to shut the book down because of things that might emerge to do with Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew. Refer to yesterday's readings in that case if you don't know what I'm talking about. And we're going to ask also, and I have to get my notes, we're going to ask about connections with the other court case, my suspicious mind. We're going to ask about witnesses to the fight, possibly, that Andrew Lownie can call on, witnesses to what was said about Meghan Markle to Harry. Speculation, Mike Tyndall has been named as one possible source for the fight story. It's his kind of thing. Other people are speculating that whether he's a witness or whatever, Prince William might be quite keen to have Andrew Lownie's book out in public, taking down the Yorks before he himself has to do it. So those are two names that are in the ring already. And then we're going to look and see if they will actually go so far as to sue. and how it will go for them if they do. Outcome for Harry and Meghan. The litigious too, back at it. Don't have much money left in the kitty, I would think, at this point, but maybe because it's the Daily Mail, they think they can squeeze buy one get one free from old big head guy. That's just my thinking, of course, and we need to remind you this is just tarot. Snoring in the background, sorry, it's Tessa as usual. It's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my speculation, it's all opinion. Just read energy here. And disclaimer in the box below, very important always when these legal matters are being discussed on YouTube, to remind you to do your own research and form your own conclusions about things. Our underlying energy is the Nine of Scepters, that's the Nine of Wands. It's the embattled card, but bloodied and bruised, a bit like Prince Andrew and his nose. And this is the Parkles, Harry and Meghan. Really, they are punch bags at the moment, and that's them. Really trying to distance themselves from this book, trying to shut this book down, and raise the drawbridge basically to protect themselves from all the scurrilous stuff that is being written about in the Daily Mail and also speculated about around and about in social media, their least favorite place in the world, of course. So there you have it. That's them. Nothing remarkable about that card. It just tells what is really going on. I think we all can see that. The heart of the situation is the Mage, and it's in reverse. That's the Magician in this particular tarot. And the Magician is the Spinmeister, the trickster when he's in reverse. Don't look here, look over there, while I quickly pull something out from under my sleeve. It's that kind of energy. They were fast out of the gate. I mean, the first excerpt had barely, the ink was barely dry on that issue of the Daily Mail when the denial came from, I assume, Meredith Maines, and then not a day later, but the lawyers had been involved and letters fired off to the Daily Mail, and Jack Royston, who's sometimes pro-Parkle and sometimes not, I suppose depends whether the check has cleared, as a lot of people speculate, and of course it is just speculation. I wouldn't slander a journalist by claiming that he was paid to write what he's writing, but very quickly out the gate with this, the lawyers' letters have gone to the Daily Mail from Harry and Meghan. There it is, the Mage, the Magician, the Trickster in reverse. It's all getting very hot under the collar and wanting to spin things their way. And for me, the Magician is a very tricky card. Whichever way it is in a reading. In reverse, it's don't believe a word it says, basically. So this is PR at its, I was going to say finest, but at its worst probably. Let's look at Harry and Meghan and see who's more enthusiastic about this lawyering up stuff. Because we'd had heard that Meghan had lost her appetite for litigation and she was quite fed up with Harry and his relentless court cases. But let's see, was Harry all fired up and must do this? Got the High Priestess. That for me has more and more come to mean channeling, doing yoga and getting messages from Mummy Diana. The High Priestess. That's not, oh, I'm so angry, I'm going to get the lawyers. This is like being influenced to call in the lawyers and do that. That for me is in the realms of persuasion. I could use much stronger words than persuasion when I read the High Priestess. I'm very careful with the language I use around that card for legal reasons, let's just say. But you yourselves are welcome to use stronger language than persuasion with the High Priestess. Interesting that the Mage can also indicate persuasion, especially when in reverse. I don't think this was his idea. Let's put it like that, as basically as that. I don't get at all that Harry thought, let's get the lawyers in quick and try and shut this book down and try and stop the Daily Mail from publishing any more potentially damaging excerpts. Today's fun was the Epstein files. a bit of a yawn fest at this point. But anyway, Madame, Three of Coins. Three of Coins is get the team on side. And it's interesting, it's a money card, as I was saying about Newsweek, and how different their tone can be on any particular day. That is get the team involved, quick, get busy, get Meredith Maines to write the denial, and get Jack Royston to write something. Well, here it is, because I've written it already. It's that kind of energy. And of course I'm being snarky and I'm speculating wildly, and I have no idea what actually went on at Mudslide Mansion. But that's the mental image that I'm getting as an energy reader, reading tarot cards for fun and entertainment. So why the almost indecent haste to send the lawyer's letters off to the Daily Mail? Is it possibly because of the prior that some people speculate Meghan and Andrew had at least prior knowledge of each other, whether biblical or not, and awkwardness that might ensue if that were to emerge? Let's just ask why. And we have the vehicle, and it's in reverse, which is the Chariot. The Chariot is ambition, basically ambition. And when it's in reverse, you could say that indecent ambition, nothing will stop to get to its goal. Interestingly, that's a sub energy in the layer of energies that cards usually have around them, for me anyway, as I read. So there's that possibly, if any digging were to be done, it's climbing the greasy pole with all the unfortunate innuendos that might be involved in this sort of context with the greasy pole. But the vehicle in reverse is stopping the book. It's stopping something from going forward when it's in reverse, obviously. Who else is the vehicle? Prince William. Stopping him somehow. And I said there's speculation that Prince William might have green-lighted this book and waived NDAs and told people, yeah, go ahead, have a chat with him, with Andrew Lownie. I'll be quite happy for you to say whatever you want to say. It's there that possibly the Parkles think my enemy is your enemy is, how does that saying go, like George Bush and the fool me once, fool me twice thing. That thing about the enemies and the friends. You know that thing, that saying. It's there, is that if Prince William was behind this book, then they want to shut him down. I think, and I said this yesterday in the reading that I did on the book, Prince Andrew and Harry and the punch-up and everything, I think that the Yorks and the Parkles are aligned because Prince William is a common enemy to them, because he's the one that's going to take them both down when he's king. He's made it very clear through leaking to the press like a sieve about his intentions. It's in this book as well, the excerpts in the Daily Mail, the Andrew Lownie book. It's there. Prince William is going to sort out the Andrew problem, will evict him from Royal Lodge, will take away the title. He didn't say this, but you know, we've all heard Prince William is getting ready to take away the titles and all of that from the Parkles. So it's got a lot to do with Prince William and blocking him somehow from getting his side of the story out, interestingly. And how about link to the other case against the Daily Mail? Is this see, they really are evil because they're publishing these nasty things about me, and no wonder I had to sue them and possibly pay people to make up evidence. I'm being snarky again. Seven of Spikes is the defensive card. I would say yes. This is my opinion. This is tarot. This is all just fun and speculation, of course. But the Seven of Spikes is, it's a dishonesty card. That's what the Seven of Spikes is. In traditional tarot, it's the person running away, making off with other people's swords. The thief energy, traditionally in tarot. And we have got allegations of wrongdoing that the court has been quite stern about, and Harry's team, and not only Harry, let me make that clear, it's not only Harry involved in this court case, but the lawyers have been told to, disclose certain things so that the Daily Mail can figure out if certain people were actually paid to find evidence, particularly that nasty piece of work, the private detective. There it is, shady. I could use much stronger words again than shady, but there is something shady going on here. I think there is an agenda that makes me go, basically. So let's move on to Andrew Lownie's enthusiasm for doing battle and for the disclosures that would come as a result of any litigation. This, of course, is not litigation so far. This is just a warning letter, cease and desist kind of a letter. How about the fight way back in 2013, before Meghan Markle appeared on the scene, which we assume was to do with naked billiards in Vegas? Where did that story come from? Speculating, of course, who might have been the source of that. And we've got the King of Scepters. Now, I would say for those of you, and it's in reverse, if you are avoiding my very dazzlingly bright tarot cloth and covering your eyes with shades and just listening. For those of you who have suspected it might be Mike Tyndall, you might be onto something. I'm not going to accuse him directly of being a source of such defamatory statements. But wands or scepters in this tarot, sporty. He is himself a Libran. I did check before I did this reading. But that could be his energy, because it's very high status male, high achiever. He's a very high achiever in everything that he's done, in all his sporting pursuits, to the extent that apparently Invictus Games wants him and not the has-been in Birmingham in 2027. And Neil Sean's story, that one's swirled around for a very long time, so it's hardly a new thought in his head. I've read on it countless times over the years here on this channel. But that King of Scepters tells me, in reverse, is behind the scenes, quiet, through back channels and whatever. But I would say it has been vetted. I don't think Andrew Lownie's a novice at writing these kinds of books, and I don't think the publishers' lawyers would have allowed things like that to go through without some sort of proof or some backup that, yeah, we've got 3 witnesses that saw it. That's high status, king, royal or royal adjacent, and sporty. So there is that. There is that. He's possible. There could be others. It could even be someone like Peter Phillips, also sporty, also high status. He's a Scorpio, I think. It's reading like that. It's reading that those kinds of people. It was at some event, some family event. And I think family event. How about the other? The Meghan Markle thing, don't marry that woman, worst mistake of your life. She's an opportunist. You haven't done due diligence and checked up on her past. All of that stuff that is so defamatory and what else? Damaging and grossly inaccurate. Where did that story come from? Where did that story come from? 9 of Coins. 9 of Coins is usually, normal tarot right away, it is normally an independent woman of means. There is one that has come to mind. I'm not going to say her name here on this channel, but she has come quite loudly to mind. But it's somebody who doesn't matter to them. They're not in it for financial gain or anything like that. They don't have any ties to anything or anyone that would that would compromise them. They're free to speak their mind. That's what I've been wrestling with, the expression, and that's it. They are free to speak their mind, and it's given me more of a female energy than a male energy. This story, the punch up story, is male energy for me. This story is more female, and it's a female that's financially independent and has gone her own way and couldn't care less. And there are at least two that are in my mind, and I don't want to say either of their names out loud. I'm just going to choose to stay silent in this case. Very seldom do I feel the need to do that, but I do here. But I will say financially independent woman. I would say older woman as well. But I think that the story has come from that kind of a source. And I think it's solid gold source as well, with that pentacle in the mouth. How in the old days you'd bite into a coin to test it. There it is, solid gold. Okay, sorry I'm having to be vague there, but I feel very self-protective right now. Okay, outcome, likelihood of them actually going all the way and suing, bearing in mind that they are broke and they're already suing the Daily Mail, or Harry is anyway. Likelihood of that. 5 of coins in reverse. I don't see it with that card, because that card is the broke card, and it tells me super broke. So I think this is all fuss and for drama and theatre. I think she wants it in particular. I think she wants to shut William down. She wants to shut this book down as quickly as she possibly can without going all the way. The 5 of coins just tells me they can't afford to, and I think they're both well aware of how cash strapped they are, and I'm sure the lawyers have no appetite for further litigation with the Parkles. Could be wrong, but that's how it's reading for me there with that 5 of coins, particularly it being in reverse tells me particularly broke. And if they were, or anyway, whether they do or they don't, how's it going to reflect on them going forward? This never happened. These are scurrilous rumours, and take them down, or it's pistols at dawn sort of thing. How dare you? How's it going to go for them? This thing, strength. Well, it's going to boost their morale. It's going to make them feel better about themselves, and I think they needed that injection of, look, see, we still got it. It might even bring them closer to each other. The lion and it looks like a sort of a dragony thing. Yes. Well, obviously the Dragon Slayer is on the cover of this thing. It's going to make them feel important. It's going to make them feel victorious. It's going to boost them, bring them closer together in their common enemy. I keep having to try and remember that saying, and I can't. We've talked about common enemies earlier in this reading. The theme of this reading really should be common enemies, basically, because there it is. So it's going to give them a boost. I don't think it's going to matter to the wider world. I think the wider world is long past caring what Harry and Meghan do till such time as the divorce is announced. But that's my opinion, of course. There it is. Give them a boost. Make her feel better. And why does she need to feel better? It's her birthday tomorrow. I'm going to do a birthday reading for her next. That's for her. It's to make her feel better. And I mean this, she's an opportunist, a grifter basically, and whatever else. Harsh things to have said about you by Prince Andrew of all people. And to have it splashed all over the Daily Mail on the eve of your birthday, when what's supposed to have been your best year ever, writing in the sand and the beach, the start of the year, has turned out into probably the worst year ever for Madame Markle. So I think it's all about really her and her ego and her need to feel that she's achieved a signal victory over not only the Daily Mail, but also the hidden hand of Prince William. That's the reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.